Hey guys, how many of you have ever seen a really cool piece of metal art welded together like a motorcycle or a basketball player or a cross and wondered to yourself, how in the world do they do that? Well, if that's the case, you're going to want to stick around because that's exactly what we're going to cover next on this week's bonus session of Manly Moments. Well, if I'm honest, even though I took shop class in high school, I don't know the first thing about welding art. Fortunately, I know someone who does. It's my good friend and welding expert, Bryan Grieze. How's it going, Bryan?
Doing pretty good. Thanks for coming out today.
Thanks for having me here. This is quite the place you've got at Grieze Art. This is your masterpiece creation place, I guess, where I see a lot of completed pieces and there's some uncompleted pieces. How long have you been doing this, or how did you get your start?
I've been doing it since maybe 2001, 2002. I used to work in a machine shop, running the saw, and all the scrap pieces used to fall on the floor, and I used to run a piranha press and all them pieces, and I'd move around on the ground with my foot and figure stuff out. I'd be like, man, I wish I could figure out how to put these together. And I asked a friend, it's like, hey, can you show me how to weld so I could figure out how to do this? And next thing you know, zip, 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 I'm zapping away.
Man, can you give us like a little tour of some of your artwork?
Oh, I'd love to.
Excellent.
Well, this is my rocking dog. I call him my rocking dog because he's got a bobble head, so he can bang his head like a headbanger dog. This is a motorcycle I made out of some scrap metal, and I really love America, so I try to put America in everything I make. All right, now this is Anthony Wayne. Fort Wayne was named after this guy who built us a fort. They made him so he could run with a sword with a flag in his hand. The tractor's just made out of some bandsaw blades and piranha punch plugs mostly. Love making animals, their faces, expressions. I love tongues hanging out of their mouths and teeth. I have fun making stuff like this. I made this here to put on the front of my barn here. You know, I see stars on people's houses, but I never seen one like this. So I had to do my own thing, you know what I mean? This is where it all began, to making stars. I made this and everybody loved it, and they're like, oh my gosh, gotta have one. So this is a Praying Mantis I made special for a PBS interview that I did a couple weeks ago. It's made out of, you know, a lot of chains. There's electric motor parts in there. There's all kinds of different stuff in there. Well, I love America and I love American birds, so I had to make me an eagle. This is the first eagle that I made that was awesome. Now this eagle here I wanted to make it look like it was flying when it's hanging on a wall. So you can like put your hand all the way underneath his wing to get that 3D jumping out of the wall feel. In 2014, my mom died, and I had notion to build this giant morning glory because she died in the morning, and that's my mom's morning glory.
Wow, I'm just fascinated with your work, but I've got to ask, I've always wondered how this whole thing works, so I put together a few questions that might walk us through the process. Are you willing to answer a few questions for us?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
The things you'll need are obviously a welder, a welding helmet, preferably with an auto lens because it's so much easier, a grinding shield, a grinder, a die grinder, vice grips, gloves, and needle nose pliers. I'll be sitting there, and all of a sudden I was like, oh man, I gotta write this down. I start drawing it out. Or I'll be sleeping at night, I'll wake up in the middle of the night with an idea, and I'll have to go out in the kitchen and get a piece of paper and find a pencil, and I'll draw it out. Or I'll go online and look for pictures of animals, and I'll try to sketch it out as quick as I can, or bugs, or whatever. I take all these parts that I want to bend and twist, and I take them to my back barn and go crazy beating the crap out of them. Excuse my French. With a hammer, and I twist them and do all kinds of things. Then I untwist them, then I bring them all back up here, grind off any sharp edges, and get a big pile of them, and then start going crazy. If I have a mistake and I don't like the piece, I will chop it all apart and rebuild the whole thing. I've done it several times. It's just what happens. The average amount of time it takes to make a project is between 2 to 30, 40, 60 hours. or more, depends how big or whatever it is. Well, normally after I put the clear coat on is when I normally see all the spots I missed. And then I have to go over the whole piece all over again, repaint the whole thing again after I grind out all the spots I missed, and then I'll paint it again, and then I'll look at it all over again, and then I'll finally clear coat it again and hope there is nothing else, and if it is, I'm hoping nobody sees it.
Wow, pretty amazing, Bryan. But I'm just curious, what are the odds that you'd be willing to give away one of your pieces of art?
They're pretty good. Got one right here.
Awesome. Look at this metal cross. For everybody who'd like to have the chance at possibly winning this cross, all you got to do is leave a comment below, like, "Well done, Bryan," or "What a steal of a deal," or something as simple as "Pick me." Next week, we'll pull all the names together and draw one lucky winner to take home the prize. And in the meantime, go ahead and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a single episode. And we will see you next time for another installment of Manly Moments.